Welcome to the MsSavvyPro Show with Patrice Jackson, a.k.a. MsSavvyPro, where each week we get up close and personal with successful, purpose-filled people to reveal their struggles, strategies, and inspiring stories of how they are changing the world one person at a time. Our purpose is to empower you to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can to pursue your dreams and goals.
Hey, everybody. Happy Tuesday. You are here on the MsSavvyPro Show with your girl, Patrice Jackson, MsSavvyPro herself, and we are here to motivate you to pursue your purpose. As you know on the show, we are all about having guests on the show that are here to tell their journey of success, their struggles, their life as they were pursuing their purpose. We have a special guest today, Lakeya Guy, and she's going to tell us her story, all about, just how she is using what she has inside of her, the gift she has inside of her, to change her community. So as you know, always, we have an event page on Facebook, so you can go over there. You can always leave questions for our guests, or if you have questions or concerns for me, you can leave them there. And if you want to be a guest on the show or a sponsor, you can always just contact us at SavvyPros for you, the number 4, the letter U, at gmail.com. And we'll be happy to talk with you and interview you or go from there to see how we can assist you in pursuing your purpose. As always, we are here on the I Am a Superwoman network, and a network that is all about empowering the super person in you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into the show, and I'm going to introduce our guest by reading her bio. So Miss Lakeya T. Guy is a #1 best-selling author. She is not your typical author of children's books because her experience as a teacher, she has the ability to incorporate relevant real-world messages that positively impacts the lives of her reader. Lakeya is passionate about boosting children's self-esteem by creating characters in her story that allow them to witness people that look like them, engaging in positive behaviors, and overcoming obstacles. She highlights family experiences that features her own children as the main characters within context of her present social studies classroom. Lakeya tackles pertinent topics such as bullying, perseverance, good manners, and positive character traits that teach valuable life lessons to her reader. That's what we need today, you guys. So, hey, Lakeya, welcome to the MsSavvyPro Show.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
Yes, I'm so glad I got to have you on the show. I met you at an awesome event in Atlanta that was dedicated to authors, and you were telling me about your book, and I was so excited to hear about it, very interested. So having you on the show today is just amazing, and it's so awesome, and I can't wait to hear your story.
Oh, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
So tell us, okay, we read your bio, but there's so much more to you. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. So as already stated in my bio, I am a school teacher for the Norristown Area School District, which is right outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I currently have 180 students, and I teach 5th grade social studies. I have been teaching off and on in the private and public school for about 15 or so years, and teaching is just my passion, being around students and their families and building relationships is what I'm mostly into. So I really enjoy watching children grow and progress and become productive citizens in society.
So, okay, so there's a couple of things that you said there that I really want to touch on. And I'll start with watching children grow. How do you feel, kind of what's going on in the society with the different things that's happening with our children, and, seeing those children, struggle with things like bullying and just being confident in themselves, and how has that journey been for you?
So what I would like to say about that is that a lot of times children are targeted for bullying because they may fit like a certain mold that the bully is actually looking for. It could be that quiet student. It can be the student who is insecure or have low self-esteem. It can also be the student who may not have the fancy clothes like everyone else has. So the books that I write and when I even deal with students one-on-one, I try to build their self-esteem because they can, want to suffer with depression, not want to suffer, but sometimes students have depression or go through different things that parents may not be able to see, and it takes that one teacher to pour into the child's life and to help them turn their life around. A lot of times mentoring or participating in group sessions with a teacher or with a counseling team can even help prevent students from thinking about suicide. Students are going through a lot more than what we went through when we were growing up.
And that's so true. And I was, thinking about, when you think about the bully, right, and you think, okay, they're bullying the student because they have zeroed in on this one thing that may trigger something in them. And I use the word trigger because a lot of times, not saying that bullying is right by any means, but sometimes the person who is bullying is having issues at home or other issues that are, kind of instigating that type of behavior.
Yes, that is so true. They could be going through things at home. Maybe they came from a single-parent home, or maybe they have an older sibling who's, like, pounding on them at home. You just never know what the situation can be. And a lot of times teachers or administrators, they just look at the bully as being that bad person or that person who's uncontrollable and can't be handled. But if you sit down and talk to them and really build that relationship with the student, you're able to find out so much more into what is going through their mind, what they're dealing with, what they have to face when they get home. You just never know. And to, continue to punish or to reprimand students for behavior without first addressing what's going on in the home or what they're internalizing or taking upon themselves. I feel it does the students a disservice when you can't talk to them or mentor them to find out what they stand in need of. We all have needs, and children may not be able to verbalize their needs. So a bully may beat up somebody because they have new sneakers, when they can feel inside, I should have those sneakers, and they may, not have the name brand clothes or the name brand items that they see others have, so they try to make themselves look big and bad, and that's when it turns into an ugly situation.
I'm glad that you brought up those points. What type of tips could you give me and other people in the community to recognize when that there is something behind the scenes, or even tips to be able to approach someone, a teenager or someone, a youth to, kind of instigate a conversation?
Well, for me, I guess because it would be easier for me since I'm actually in that school. But if you're a community member or a concerned church member, you can talk to the child. I mean, it doesn't hurt to say, hey, I noticed I haven't seen you in a while, or, wow, did you know such and such, or did you catch that TV show, or ask the child what's their favorite movie or favorite cartoon show. Anything you can use to strike up that conversation. Again, I'm very big on building relationships. As teachers, we're with the kids over 7 hours a day. So just building that relationship. Some students, they're in school all day. As soon as they get home, sometimes they may not have food. They may not have that parental support system when they get home. They may have to take care of the younger ones while their parents are at work. So, striking up that conversation with students or with children for that matter to try to find out do they need anything from you? It could just mean, they may need a meal. It could mean they may need school supplies. It could mean they may even need help purchasing uniforms. You just never know what a child could be faced with.
You're so right, and I'm glad, that we're talking today and, letting the audience know that, one of the things I've always said is that you can change the whole world by changing one person within your community. And you're doing that, like you said, as, with being a teacher and with your books. So let's talk about your books, because you actually touch on different subjects for children or about things that children are dealing with in your books. Can you tell us how you started it, like where it all came from?
Well, I've been writing off and on for about 10 years, and I just felt like I would never be able to get published. I just felt like my work wasn't good enough or didn't meet publishing standards. So I ran into a friend. They referred me to someone who could help me, hash out my ideas. So I picked up a few books over the summer because I had a minor procedure, and I knocked out 10 books over the summer, which is really, to me, really fascinating. So 6 of them were children's books, and 4 of the books are adult-related books. But my motivation for doing the Charity's Big Dreams series is because as my daughter was growing up, she was like, Mommy, read me a story. But there weren't a lot of stories that represented African-American children. So that was one of my primary focuses to make sure that I make and create books that show diversity. So in Charity's Big Dreams, I have boys and girls. I have male and female teachers. I have all different walks of life, Asian, Hispanic, Caucasian, African-American, you name it, I have it in the book. And the books that I write are teaching children character traits like trustworthiness, respect, how to be responsible. But the first book that I created is dealing with perseverance. So Charity wanted to go on a field trip with her teacher. She woke up late the next day for the test, and she really thought that she was not going to be able to have the opportunity to go on the field trip with her teacher. So her mom, on her way to school, her mom told her to persevere, and she basically told her that perseverance means to not give up. It means in spite of hardships, in spite of obstacles, in spite of difficulties or whatever you may be facing, don't give up. Keep moving and keep trying to go forward until you get to the place that you want to be. So I felt like that was like a really strong point that I wanted to hit home with the first book in the series. But books teach good manners, valuable character traits. It teach grit, resilience. So the first book was like really, really exciting. Book 2 actually is on Amazon now. So I'm excited with that. It's called Road Trip to D.C. Charity's Big Dreams, Road Trip to D.C. So the books that I write is just so it can help curtail children having low self-esteem, to be more positive, to not look down on yourself or to look down on others.
Wow. And persevering for everyone is not easy, and it's so easy in this day and time with all the things that are bombarded, in our minds with TV and social media and just all the things that are going on in the world. It is so easy for you to start to compare yourself or to other people, or to look, down on yourself, or, have moments where you just feel like I'm not doing it right, or I need to, keep going. Why should I keep going because, it's just not working for me. And, so it's really good that you're kind of teaching these skills to children at a young age so that as they grow, those skills they just mature, along the way instead of them having to learn them as an adult.
Right. That's correct.
So what are some of your other books about?
So I did actually write one on bullying. So 3 books are, the main character are female, which is my daughter Charity, and 3 other books are my son, Tyrell. So the books are, well, this series right here is, of course, I told you about the field trip. So her goal and her passion and her dream was to eventually meet Barack Obama. And I guess at the end, not I guess because it's already written, but she eventually meets Barack and Michelle Obama.
All right.
So it's having students or children realize you don't have to just dream on the surface. Dream big and just see what happens. You just never know. And I feel like a lot of times parents and teachers squash children's dreams, squash their creativity or their imagination, and we have to do what we can so that no child's dream is left behind. So,
that's good advice. One of the things that I talk to with my clients sometimes when they're thinking about what they want to do in life or, what their purpose is, I always say, what did you want to be when you were a little kid? Because that was when you thought you could be a superhero, a rock star, an athlete.
Yes.
Those were the days when you thought you could have been anything that your little mind thought up. And, I think because we think about the things that happen in life, or like you said, it's you squash people, sometimes teachers or family members or whatever the case may be. They say, you can't be that. This is not logical. But if we just go back to when we were little kids with our huge imaginations, we can try to conquer the world.
Yes, even playing dress up. We dressed up as a doctor. Nobody ever said, oh, you're not going to be a doctor. We actually had clothes that we were able to dress up as doctors, lawyers, a baker. There were no limits placed on us until somebody put the limits on us. So we need to learn how to help others and help children take limits off. We even need to take limits off our own selves as well. Stop thinking we can't do something. We need to go above and beyond. Dream big, whether it's for your business, whether it's for your marriage, whether it's for your ministry. Just go big. Dream big.
Yes, that's so true. So speaking of, when we were kids and imagination, did you think that you would be an author or a teacher when you were a kid?
That is too funny. No, I did not. Actually, I was a student who had severe behavior problems in school. I actually had to be removed from 2 schools. Imagine that.
I would have never guessed that from the times I met you and talked to you.
I was always in trouble. My parents had to keep going to the school suspension, out of school suspension, in school suspension. I mean, that was always from kindergarten to 12th grade. I just was a real handful. And it's funny to me now because I see students that act how I used to act. And even in my high school, I'm not sure which year it was, but I was voted most likely not to succeed in the class clown. I mean, yes, I did earn those titles, but look at me now. So I just want to say to parents and teachers and counselors, never give up on a child. You just never know who they're going to become. Just because they may be acting up in class or not doing what you need them to do, they may become somebody big one day.
Right. And then those different things that you used to do in your past to kind of help with the students that you have. So, you have a student that's, misbehaving. You can say, yeah, I used to be you. We're going to get through this, So it's a good thing to use your past to help people in your present.
Mhm. And I tell them all the time, I mean, I don't sugarcoat it for the students. Of course, I don't tell them every single thing because I don't want them to model after that and think they can just get away with it. But I do let them know some of the struggles that I had in school with sitting still, talking back to teachers, fighting. I mean, I've done it all. So I just try to tell them I've been where you are, and you need to try to go into a different area. You don't have to act like that. You don't have to try to be seen, or you don't have to try to make people laugh. You need to do what you got to do in school, focus, so that you can move on and be somebody better in life.
Great advice, great advice. I'm quite sure they, when they really sit back and think about it, they appreciate you being real with them in that. So how do your kids feel knowing that they're the subject of your book?
Actually, my daughter helps with my daughter Charity. She helps with giving the titles, constructive feedback. She's like, Mom, no, that doesn't look right. No, that doesn't sound right. So I really think not just my youngest daughter, but all three of my children are very proud of what I accomplished, from knowing my past and things that I encountered growing up, even the hardships and difficulties. They're able to see that if you work hard enough, that's that perseverance. If you work hard enough, you can achieve what you set out to do. You can follow your dreams. You can help others and inspire others to follow their dreams as well. So I think from that aspect, it's showing them and it's motivating them to become who they want to be in life.
Yeah, and you're showing them. I like too, when you're doing something, when you're pursuing your passion by writing the books, and you're doing that on different levels, and you're showing your children that if they have this creative mind or they have something they want to do, they don't have to stick with the norm. They can do whatever their hearts desire. And you're showing them not only just by telling them, you're showing them by example. So that's amazing. So I want to ask you some questions about just being an author and the things that you've learned along the way. But we're going to take a quick break before we do that. And then when we come back, I want you to just tell us how, it was when you became an author and some of the things you got going on in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you guys. We will be right back with Lakeya Guy, and we're going to take a quick break from the MsSavvyPro Show and listen to some music. We're going to listen to anything. All right, you guys. Be right back with you.
My heart's still grateful. We say we trust God, but how many us really wait though? He made a way, but we want choices like make more. Put us through a trial to make us strong enough to face more. Everything is calculated, good moves and bad decisions. God will change it round and make it work out like body fitness. Do we really trust him? Look, I've been through it. I'm a witness. Sin has locked me up and I worship till I broke out that prison. We worried about the flight, but the plane has yet to take off. You think the Lord ain't got you, but he takes care of the stray dog. Took care of our biggest bill. Transgression is paid off, but many still blind, they can't see it. Ray Charles, one man killed all, saved all. One man on this mic telling folk Jesus wants to save y'all. Stress kills, get healed. Don't just call on any king. Call on the one who owns it all, and then you ain't gotta worry about anything.
Everything that happens for my good. I'm only moving forward if you wait, I think it should. I never knew I could, but now I know I could. My faith is in the Lord, he said he will, I knew he would. I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything.
God's still speaking, we just don't listen. We've all been broken, we just don't see him fixing. Tough times have been good, I know you like he tripping, but that showed me who my friends was. Now I know you feel me. What seems bad can work out when you let him work out. Just trust him and not self. I know that you get churched out. Real faith is real simple. Sometimes we overdo it. Nobody needs to know your business. Your lifestyle will surely prove it. So take your mess and all your gossip, tell that to somebody else. I got my own issues and my own problems I've been trying to deal with by myself. My focus is that kingdom walk, moving mountains every time I talk. Preach his word around the earth, keep his word inside my heart. The devil mad cause I see him falling every time we Jesus talking. Answer God, he's always calling. Bounce to this like your name is Spalding. I just want to see my peeps encouraged. Every race in every hood was Satan meant to seem so bad. God can turn it around for your good.
Everything that happens for my good. I'm only moving forward if you wait, I think it should. I never knew I could, but now I know I could. My faith is in the Lord, he said he will, I know he would. I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything. Said if you know it's for you good, then put your hands up. Said if you know it's for you good, then put your hands up. Said if you know it's for you good, then put your hands up. Said if you know it's for you good, then put your hands up. I ain't worried about it. No, I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. No, I ain't worried about it. Said I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. Said I ain't worried about it. Everything that happens for my good. I'm only moving forward if you wait, I think it should. I never knew I could, but now I know I could. My faith is in the Lord, he said he will, I know he would. I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything, so I don't worry about anything.
Hey, you guys, this is your girl, Patrice Jackson, also known as MsSavvyPro, and I wanted to share a quick quote with you that I really love and that I use as encouragement, and that is, successful people are not gifted. They just work hard, they succeed on purpose. Yeah, you guys, just do what you got to do. Just keep working hard and keep going. Don't let nothing get in your way. You are destined to be great. And remember, you can always join the Purpose Matters Project at yespurposematters.com. All right, you guys, one more song, and we'll be back with our guest, Lakeya Guy.
In your deep businessman, he's always there. Every time I have a need, he always hears my plea. Let me tell you about a man. He's a loving God, has no power in his hand. He's watching over us, shielding and protecting us from all harm. He is a mighty fortress, a great God is he. Every time I need him, all I have to do is call on his name. He's our Father. He's our Father. We are his children, and he loves us. Ooh, what a love he has for us. Greater than any other love. I will sing a new song unto the Lord, for he's worthy to be praised. I will lift up my voice and praise when I think of the marvelous things that God has done for me. Saints, if you look back over your life and you see the things that God has brought you through. In this life, we're either going through a storm or we're coming out of a storm. But in all things, we must give God thanks. I endure the most grande. No nada. I endure the most grande. No nada, no nada. ¿Cuál es el nombre? ¿Cuál es el nombre? He is our Father. We are his children. And he loves us. Ooh, what a love he has for us. Greater greater love than the love that God has for us. Oh no, there is no greater love. Is there greater peace than the peace that God has for us? It's a peace that surpasses all understanding. Oh no, He is a great God. I will continue to utter praises out of my mouth, for His name is worthy to be praised. Let me tell you about a man. He is our Father. We are His children, and He loves us. Oh, what a love He has for us. Greater than any love I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing a new song. Sing a new song unto the Lord. Every day, every day. Every day I'll praise Him. I'll give Him the praise. I'll give Him the glory. I'll give Him the honor. I'll give Him the honor. No greater love. No greater love. There is no greater love. Oh, that God has for me. No greater love than the Father has for you. Than the Father has for you. There is no greater love. I will sing praise to His word. He's the greatest love I know. No greater love. No greater love. Than the Father has for me. Than the Father has for you. No greater love. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, you guys. Welcome back to the Miss Savvy Pro Show on the I Am a Superwoman Network. And that was Arthur Rowland, and that was his song, Introducing Christ. And the song before that was Anything by B. Sims. Both of those artists were on the Miss Savvy Pro Show in the past, so make sure that you guys go over to the event page and you click the link to check them out, or just Google them. They're all over the internet. So, you guys, we're going to go ahead and jump back on the show with our guest, Lakeya Guy, and we're going to talk to her about how she became an author and how she likes being an author. Hey, Lakeya, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Patrice. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, you had gave us so much information on just how you are helping the community, with your books and being a teacher, with, just touching our youth and getting to our young people and letting them know that we truly do care for them and we want them to be great, right? And one of the ways you're doing that is by being an author. So how, I know you told us how, you started your first book, but how do you like it? And, where do you want to go with this part of your life?
So I really, really enjoy writing books. The only thing that I will find that's tedious or takes a really long time is the illustration of the book. So the books are already written. The only thing that's taking a long time is waiting for the review of the illustration. So once the illustrator sketches a picture, I then have to go and critique the picture. Once I critique the picture, I send it back to him. He makes the changes. Then he sends it back, and then he colors it in, and then I decide if I like the colors or not. So having the book illustrated, I find, is the most difficult or painstaking part of the process. But writing the books is not a problem. Most of my books, like I said, they deal with real-life issues that take place in the classroom or in a community, and it teaches children life skills and character traits and builds their self-esteem. So the books I've written so far are all completed, and they're just waiting for the illustrations from the illustrator. So what I did is I held an art contest at my school. And I had so many students who were interested in being a part of book number 1. But I narrowed it down to 4 illustrators, and 1 illustrator was the final one who was chosen. He's an 8th grade student at my school, and he created all of the buildings, the backdrops, and the furniture for the book. Now, I did have to outsource for the book to be colored in as well as the characters, but I really thought it was important to involve students in the process. So sometimes I show them pictures and ask them what they think about the picture, or what do they think about the clothing that the characters are wearing. So they're very instrumental in the process of my book writing. So I really appreciate the students for that.
That is so cool. I love the fact that you got your students involved in the process, just because, now they can say that they were part of that process, they had that experience, and then they're like, hey, I've had the experience. Now if I wanted to do that, I could do it too.
Yes, and what's ironic about that is after I published the first book, I had several students come to me and say that they wanted to write a book, or they were thinking about writing a book. So I actually have a book club, and we meet twice a week at the school, and they're writing chapter books as well. I'm going to try my best to help them get published by the end of the school year.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. When you guys get that done, please let me extend that invitation to your authors, maybe the ones that are finished, they can come on all together and just, maybe give about a 10-minute or an interview with us so we can, let the world know that not only are you writing books, but we got some kids that are writing them too.
Oh, that's awesome. I would definitely take you up on that invitation.
It is open to you. So now tell me, because I follow you on social media, and I see that you are truly out there. You're promoting your book. You're, working within your community. You're working with great people. What's next for you?
So what's next for me is speaking engagements. I've been booked for a speaking engagement for next Saturday. So I'm going to be starting to host mentoring workshops for children and youth that are in my community. I'm going to be putting myself out there to go throughout the United States to be able to share this opportunity with different school teachers. So when I did my book tour in Atlanta, I was invited to Northcutt Elementary School, where I read my book and helped motivate 11 classrooms. So that was really exciting.
That's so cool.
So I just want to travel all over to be able to let children hear the stories and to have them see a real-life author. So that's my next.
Yes, that's so cool, you guys. So for all the people listening out there in my audience, if you are a leader in your community, either by being a teacher or doing something in your community, here you have Lakeya. Reach out to her. Like she said, she travels, so it's not just where she is. So make sure you let her know, or if you have, because I know I have some podcasters, YouTubers, interviewers out there in my audience, check her out. Her books are awesome, so make sure that you check her out on social media or her website. As a matter of fact, how can we find you on the internet and social media and find your book?
Okay, cool. My website is www.LakeyaGuy.com, and it's LakeyaGuy.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope, and that's at author Lakeya Guy. So AUTHOR LAKEYAGUY. If you would like to purchase any of my books, you can purchase them either from my website or they can be found at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So it's called Charity's Big Dreams, and the second book is Charity's Big Dreams, Road Trip to D.C.
All right. So tell us, is there anything you want to share with our audience that I didn't ask you about?
Sure. So you know how the saying goes, it takes a whole village to raise a child. So if we change that mindset, I would like to say it definitely takes a whole village to help children realize and accomplish their dreams, realize that they have an imagination, realize that they have creativity. We all have a duty to children. We all have a duty to youth, to inspire them, to motivate them so that they can be the best that they can be. Each child learns differently. Each child acts differently. You have to be able to tap in to that child's potential, tap in to that child's gift, and help them flourish so that they're not staying stagnant. We can't expect all children to be interested in reading or writing. There may be a child who's interested in, shooting hoops, playing basketball, running track. We may have children who are introverts or deal with things internally. They may be good with organizing. They may be good with setting events up. So we all have to be able to help children, to help youth, to help even other adults to be able to realize their potential and to realize that the gift that they hold within them is a valuable asset to the community and to the world at large.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Here on the MsSavvyPro Show, I am a huge advocate of being part of the village. You never know what your contribution could do to change a child's life or change a person's life. So I thank you so much for sharing that perspective from where you are with our audience.
You're welcome.
So one of the things I always ask my guests to do is to share a quote or scripture or word, something that they use to encourage themselves from day to day. Can you do that?
Okay, so my favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. For a favorite quote, I would say it's not how you start, but it's how you finish. So trying to combine all those things, both the scripture and the quote, I think it's important for one to realize that you can't do everything on your own. You need key people in your life, key people around you, one, to keep you grounded, and also to help promote your dream, or to help promote your vision, or to help promote what you want in your life. So no man is an island. We need others who can either jumpstart us when we're down, or provide us with that inspiration we need to keep moving forward, so that we're not staying where we are and we can just go forward. So even when you're starting, whether it's a ministry or a business, you have to look at the bigger picture. Don't just say, I'm just going to stay in Norristown, or I'm just going to stay in Philadelphia. God may have a larger plan for you. I know he has a larger plan. You can't just say, I'm just going to reach the people in Ohio, or I'm just going to reach my audience in the U.S. What if your purpose in life is to be international? You can't just have a small mindset. You need to think big. You need to dream big. You need to be big.
Yes, I love it. See, this is why I love having motivated, positive, passionate, purpose-filled people. I know that was a tongue twister, but on my show, because every day, every time I have someone on my show like you, they first of all, you guys motivate me, right? Because I have my times, like you said, where you're just not feeling it, so you need those people in your life that are going to just take you to that next level, or, just encourage you to keep going. And I thank you guys for sharing your journeys and sharing your vision and sharing the things that you use to encourage yourself with me and my audience, because it's needed and it's appreciated.
Thank you. You just never know what somebody is going through. Just that one simple word, that one hello, that one hug, that one inbox message that says you are powerful or you are beautiful, walk in your destiny or walk in your purpose. You just never know how that can affect someone's day. They could be thinking about either like committing suicide or doing whatever. Is our duty and our value to show others that they are important, they do matter.
Yes, so true. So I thank you so much, Lakeya, for coming on the show. You were great, and you shared some great information, some great tips, very encouraging. And like I said, the invitation is open to you as well as your students in the future. So if anytime you want to come back on, just inbox me and say, hey, I'm working on this, or hey, I want to come on and talk about this, and the invitation is open.
Oh, thank you so much for being on the show. I really enjoyed it.
Yes. So you guys, we have Lakeya Guy. We'll make sure that we have all information in the event page on Facebook. We're also going to be bringing back the blog where we have our guest information it will be on the MsSavvyPro.com. So you can look for the information there as well. So you guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the show on yet another Tuesday and trusting me with this hour in your ear. And I want to thank everyone who has bought books from YesPurposeMatter.com from either me or one of the contributing authors. You guys, they are selling out. They are going fast for me as well as my authors, and I am so appreciative of everyone who has supported us in any way, and so thankful to God for all that project has brought to me and other people. So if you have questions about being part of the project or just questions in general, you can always reach me on any social media platform and just look for me at MsSavvyPro, as MsSavvyPro, or like I gave you my email address earlier, or you can email us at info@savvypros.com. So you guys, I thank you again, and you have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will see you next week. Bye, you guys.
Thanks for listening to the Miss Savvy Pro Show. And remember, there's always peace in purpose.